so much more than I have before. Jesus, you are the Savior of my soul, and forever and ever I give my praises to you.
When I was reading through the leaflets, the outlines that they handed to me, I had two choices, whether I could discuss Jesus Christ on the academic, objective perspective or on a more personal, emotional level. I think I chose the latter, so I think it would have more meaning for every one of you if I approached it on a more personal, emotional sense. So, despite that, let me just give a few quick facts. That's my friend, by the way. Okay, let me start with a few quick facts about Jesus Christ. First of all, he is a young carpenter who lives in Nazareth. He has been never more than 100 miles away from his hometown, and he never lived in a city with a population more than 50,000. So basically, he's just a very ordinary person. Just a very ordinary person. But what kind of perplexes me and probably some of you is that he's so ordinary, how come so many thousand years since his existence, he still has such an impact on every one of us right now? In me tackling that, let me probably offer some different points and let's pin through them and let's see if we can be able to determine why Jesus Christ is so special in each and every one of our lives. First, let's tackle his qualities. So, first of all, they said, sorry, I thought they were calling me. Okay, first, Jesus Christ has a very attractive human personality. By the way, what I attempted to do is put all those information into combined snippets in order for it to hopefully stick in your minds more easily. So I put together saying that he has a very attractive human personality. He's very warm, personal, and dynamic, and that most of the people, when you read the Bible and probably when you go to Mass, some of the gospel sayings or the readings would actually discuss that there's a lot of people actually amazed, even when he was a young kid. In fact, in the joyful mystery, the fourth joyful mystery is the presentation of Jesus in the temple, and the fifth one is the finding of Jesus at the temple. He was found talking to older people, sharing his thoughts, and everyone was amazed with his intellect despite his young age. He has a very strong mind and body. He is very courageous and down to earth. I think it's not even necessary for me to expound more on him being courageous, as it's very evident if we analyze the video that we just watched earlier. Also, he's a very magnetic leader, sorry. Okay. Being magnetic, we're all aware that most of the people he went near to, like the apostles, followed him, even if he didn't really have material things or, things that usually attracts a normal person. So, yeah, they just follow him out of nowhere. Sometimes we even wonder how come they follow him. But as we end the discussion, we'll probably get more information more ideas as to why they actually followed him. And then he's very human. I said that he's very human because he actually showed tenderness and showed emotions just like every one of us. He gets angry, he gets happy. So he's very human. So basically those are his qualities as a person, how he was like had he been sitting with us here today. That's probably the kind of person that you'd be expecting to be with us. But you're probably better off listening to him than to me. Okay. The next one that I'd like to discuss is that he has sorry, I get confused with that, but we're on the second one. He has an extraordinary authority. I think you're very familiar with the parables and the the teachings that Jesus have been doing that amazes a lot of people. First of which is that he spoke directly about things, never weighing or putting into consideration anything. Like sometimes when we say we're very cautious as not to go against what was already taught previously or something like that. But Jesus, when he taught, he paid no regard, as if he knew what he was saying. He was very certain. An example of that is when he was doing the Sermon on the Mount, he said this teaching about previously your forefathers told you an eye for an eye, but then Jesus actually corrected that. He said that if someone hits you on one cheek, go ahead and offer the other cheek. So it's very bold of him to actually teach something else from what everyone else have been hearing for the past centuries or even probably decades that they've been accustomed to live with. Next thing is that he broke long-standing traditions for the sake of higher righteousness. The best example of this one is, you're well aware that before, the Jews were supposed to treat the Sabbath day as a rest day. They weren't supposed to work, they weren't supposed to do anything during the Sabbath. But Jesus actually healed the sick and went to work on that day. And when he's being rebuked by some of the Pharisees, why he does this and why he does that, he just says that he's just doing his Father's work. So he's so bold. Again, it professes his boldness to do something beyond the norm. The next one is, he healed the disabled and the sick, which is self-explanatory as to his authority. It's not exactly a simple thing to do. And he also performed extraordinary miracles, such as telling nature how to behave. Imagine when he was in the ships with Peter, and there was this terrible wind, and he just ordered the nature to stand quiet and everything. Then nature just simply followed him doing that, where Peter was like really surprised that he was able to do that. And then he even told Peter to come walk with me, even if he was in the middle of the water. And Peter did that. So it was extraordinary things that he asked other people to do for him, and it worked. Another example is that he turned water into wine and multiplied loaves and fish to feed several thousands of people. And the last quality is that he's not confused or unsure about himself or his mission. He resisted being a political king. At that time, the Roman Empire was not really treating their people very well. So everyone was thinking that the Messiah is someone, someone's going to save us eventually from this one, only to their dismay that Jesus wasn't what they were initially looking for. Next is that he sacrificed himself to save us. He actually, remember when at that scene wherein the guards was taking him to arrest him, and Peter was violent in reacting about that, and Jesus actually rebuked Peter. He rebuked him because he knows that that's how his life's fulfillment should be accomplished. And Peter standing in the way would, it's not in the master plan that God made for him. So basically, those are the qualities of Jesus. So next, let me discuss to you his uniqueness. How is he different from every one of us?